Hello class, good afternoon. So if last meeting we talked about the structure of the flowers and pollination, now let's deal with seed dispersal. So it refers to the process by which seeds are scattered, moved, or transported away from the parent plant to much wider area. So from the word scattered, okay, move and transported one way from away from the mother plant. That is what we call seed dispersal. From the word dispersal, pagkalat. So these are the ways seeds are dispersed. First is seeds in pods. So seeds in pods, they can be dispersed when the pods dries up, it bloods and forcefully sends the seeds inside the pods away from the parent plants. So that's one way of seeds. Next is seed dispersed by animals eating them. So animals eat fruits, then later on they just leave the seed in other places or other area. Next is seed with hook-like structure carried by animals. So seed with hook, if for example, monkey, okay, it can be carried by monkey because it will stick to their hair. So that seed can be transported in other places. Next is feather-like seeds dispersed by winds. Since this seed is very light, it can be easily dispersed by wind. Next is seed can be carried by water. So it happens especially in plants growing near the water areas. For example, lotus, and even coconut trees or any trees that grows near the water areas. So here are the pictures. In A, we have the seeds in pods. In B, the seeds dispersed by animals eating them. And in letter C, seeds with hook. Letter D, feather-like seeds. And in letter E, seeds can be carried by water. So that is seed dispersal. Next is asexual reproduction. Plants reproduce without the egg and the sperm uniting. So in sexual reproduction, there is the egg and the sperm will unite. But here in the sexual reproduction, there is no process like that. So it involves producing plants using leaves, stems, and roots. So natural vegetative propagation, the process by which structural modification are done with the stem, root, or leaf of an herbaceous or woody plant in producing new plants. So the first is vegetative propagation by roots, the process by which structural modification are done with the stem, root, or leaf of a herbaceous or woody plant in producing new plants. So that is what we call vegetative propagation. Or in short, vegetative propagation is the taproot of carrots, turnips, and radish that are swollen, have buds at the base of the old stems, and just above the taproots are the organs of the vegetative propagation. So Next is the vegetative propagation by stem. The subaerial stems, they develop as sideway branches from the mother plant. Examples are runners, suckers, and stolon. So here is an example of runners. We have carabao grass. So this a type of plant grows along the surface of the grounds, and it is horizontal stem with buds, so they grows horizontally. So that is runners. Next is suckers. These are small plants that grows around the main plants. These shoots grows their own roots and can be separated from the main plants, just like banana. So banana is that is in this picture, the small banana is what we call sucker. Next is the underground stem. So this stem grows underground. A good example is onion and garlic. So a bulb is a round, fresh, fleshy stem found underneath the ground, surrounded by fleshy leaves. Bulbs store nutrients for the plants. Plants can grow from these bulbs by simply taking one bulb from a plant and planting it. Onions, garlic, and lilies grows from bulbs. So bulbs is the lower part or the round part of the onion. That is what we call the bulb. Next is stem tuber or potato. So tuber is an enlarged portion of an underground stem that contains store food, just like potato and sweet potato. Next is a rhizome. A good example of rhizome is ginger and bamboo. So rhizome is the stem that grows horizontally underground. It is usually thick and fleshy and contains stored food. Along the rhizome are the enlarged portion called nodes. Buds produce at nodes on the upper surface of the rhizomes, and it gives the leaves, bringing up branches. The lower surface of the rhizomes produce roots. So that is what we call rhizome. Next is corm or colocasia. Corms look like bulbs and are often confused with them. There are no modified leaves on a corm as on the onions. Corms have squash compressed stems. They cannot be pulled apart into individual scales. They have vertically oriented underground stems swollen with food and produce cormlets at their bases. There are scaly nodes where buds are emerged. So the white, okay, part here is what we call the cormlets or the baby corms.